Good afternoon, everyone. I believe, are we being recorded? Do we know? Okay, we can go ahead. Well, thank you guys so much for being here today. My name is Caroline Hafley, and I'm the Director of Entrepreneurship for All, E for All for short, or E para todos en español. I am so excited to be here with you guys today to host a panel on building an inclusive economy through entrepreneurship. We have three wonderful entrepreneurs here with us today, so we're going to hear a little bit more about their stories, the barriers to entrepreneurship that they've faced along the way, how they've overcome them, and ways that the community can really start to better support small business owners from all different communities, because we really believe that entrepreneurship is for everyone and that it's a key aspect of building family generational wealth, and we believe that everybody should have the opportunity to turn their idea into a business. So, starting with introductions, Xiomara.
Well, hi, my name is Xiomara Sanchez. I'm originally from Cali, Colombia, as my chair says, and I'm the owner and founder of Oh My Empanada.
Hello everyone, my name is Diego Montemayor, co-founder and CEO of Chamba, and we are connecting the Latino workforce to the restaurant industry.
¿Qué onda, banda? My name is Alan Castillo. Right now I have a production company called Panamericana, and I'm former president of business and economic development in Mexico City. Thank you so much for coming.
Okay, and again, my name is Caroline. I have been with E4All for about a year and a half. I'm also a small business owner myself, and these three entrepreneurs have been participating in our E4All programs. We are a nonprofit that runs a free small business accelerator program in English and in Spanish. And so Xiomara is graduating next Thursday officially from the fall 21 cohort, and Diego graduated from the summer 2020 cohort, and Alan is actually one of our board members and mentors of our programs. So thank you guys again for being here. So to kick things off today, I just would love to hear why entrepreneurship? What was your journey to making the decision to become a business owner? And just tell us a little bit more about your story.
Can I go first? I think something that I started thinking is like how empower others to make a difference, being a person of color, an immigrant, and a little bit of being Colombian too. You know, I wanted to show people that we have more just than what the TV shows tell you. So I'm very proud of my product. So it's Colombian empanadas. So when I started with that, it was just to show a little bit of my culture and a little bit of my country. So that's how I started, in that being a business that I have with my husband, and the rest is history that we're building.
For me, why entrepreneurship? I've always liked to help people. I used to work at the United Nations in Thailand, and I saw that in these huge organizations, change and impact was very, very slow. So I decided to build something that I could control and help my community in a faster way. And also, the biggest catalyst for that was to democratize more job opportunities for my community, and this is why we built Chamba.
Every time that they ask me why entrepreneur, it gets me a little emotional, because I'm from Mexico City. I came here when I was 25. I'm 31 now. So like it gets me to remember those moments. For me, entrepreneur has something that has been always there, you know? It's something that is on my DNA. I remember being like 7, 8 years old. I remember selling candies on the elementary school and getting in trouble for that. I remember the principal calling my mom like, hey, he cannot do that, you know? Here is for study and not for like selling and not for making money. And for me, it was like, why not? I mean, there is a need, and I'm providing that product to the need, you know? Like, I'm listening to the market. I didn't know that in the moment, you know? That was something just for fun. So I started doing it in my neighborhood. Later on, I remember being in high school doing the same, like selling candies, skipping a few classes. I was not a great student. So yeah, it's something that has been on my DNA. Like I really enjoy that, that unknown. I really enjoy that emotion to start something new, and it's something that even when right now the production is going amazing, the production company is like, okay, what else we can start? Like, what else we can produce, or what else we can just go and learn? It's something that has always been on my DNA. So it's really exciting to those early stages when everything is like crazy. So I don't know, it's something that has been always on my DNA.
You eat, live, and breathe. Is that right? Yep. The passion has to be there, and you guys obviously have that. And so, building on that, from the moment that you decided to start a business, what were kind of some of the biggest challenges that you faced? Entrepreneurship in general is a really difficult journey, right? It's difficult to find balance. It's can be an emotional journey, all of those things. But in addition to that, as immigrant entrepreneurs, you also have possibly cultural barriers or language barriers or whatever it may be. And so I would just love to hear a little bit more about what were those barriers that you've maybe crossed or you're still crossing, and how are you managing that, tackling that, to keep continuing your business?
Want to go first?
Well, I think one of the challenges that I had at the beginning is how I was going to explain what a Colombian empanada was. It is a piece of education. Like, you have to explain how to eat it, what's inside, why an empanada is different than one from Colombia and one from Argentina, because you said empanada and people think it's just the same empanada. So that's one of the challenges. How am I going to explain that? Like, how I'm going to tell them that this is our empanada, one thing. The other challenge is just finding where to start. Like, do I go to the website of the Colorado state to see how do I start a business? I'm a little bit involved in the community, so I have those guides and I have that information, but I can't imagine the people that just don't know. Language barrier can be another one too. Like, I'm bilingual, but sometimes just, there's some wording there that is like very complicated. And sometimes the way that they send you things, like, I want to be a wholesaler, and I just asked, like, how can I be a wholesaler? And it was like a 10 pages explanation. So I think finding the right resources, it was a little bit of a challenge that can guide me in the right direction of where to start. That's probably one of the biggest challenges at the beginning. We of course have acquired another challenges, but I think the main challenge for all my empanada was just to have the right guidance and where to start and where to find them.
For me, as an immigrant, as a first-time founder, it was more of the background. I don't come from Google. I don't come from Facebook. I don't come from Harvard, right, or Stanford. Right, so when we would pitch to VCs, well, they're like, okay, so what's your background, right? Are you coming from these Ivy League schools or these huge companies? And we didn't have that in the team, or me as a CEO and founder, and so that was a huge challenge. And the way we overcame that was by showing the traction and the impact that we were having with our product in the community. So there's a lot of challenges, but we are like Swiss knives, right? As entrepreneurs, as immigrants, we know how to solve a lot of things, and showing the impact that you're having is a huge way to overcome a lot of these barriers.
I totally agree with Diego and Xiomara. Like, for me, when I moved here, I came without the language. When I moved here, you get English classes in Mexico, and when I moved here, I was like, yeah, I know English, of course. Like, I was like an okay student on English, So I remember being in the airport and trying to order McDonald's. It's the easiest task ever, you know, like just going into McDonald's. And I remember my first shock, like cultural shock, was like trying to order apple soda. America doesn't have apple soda. And it's a huge thing in Mexico, you know? So I was there with this guy from, probably he was like 15, 16 years old. And I was like trying to explain him what I was like looking to order. And he was like, dude, I don't know what you want, you know? So that was the first thing. And later on, being a president in Mexico and doing all this political work and doing this all high-level stuff in Mexico and moving here, you are just another Mexican. And if you can see, we have a lot of those here in the country. So it's like, okay, I'm not the president anymore. I'm not this guy from the best university in Mexico. I'm not this guy from the best organization in Mexico. I'm not this guy from Mexico City that everyone's in the industry knows. I'm just another Mexican who doesn't know English. So what is now the next step, you know? And the first step is, okay, let's start learning the English. For me, if you know me, I really like to communicate. I really like to talk. And for me not being able to do that, it was like a huge shock. So I was like, okay, what I can do? I start working on construction because no one was like, yeah, I don't know you. I don't know what you are capable of doing. And yeah, you have a degree in Mexico, but that is worthless in the US. So I was like, okay, let's do construction. Someone hooked me up, and I started learning that. And then I was blessed enough to be hanging out a lot with this guy on the elevator. He was the elevator, the lift, or the hoist operator. And I spent like 2-3 hours every day just talking with him, trying to communicate. And he taught me a lot, and I was teaching him Spanish, you know, but just learning the culture. And now, when you are on business, when I get enough language, or when I get enough like words to communicate with people, it's like, okay, you need to learn now the business side of the English. And now you need to learn the photography side or the production side. And now you need to learn the startup words. And then it's like, okay, so I never stopped to learn new words or new terminology. And I think that was the hardest part, but also was exciting because I'm learning something new. And because I'm able to communicate with people and bring a little of my culture and also absorb the culture from the States. And we have people from Colombia, we have people from like China, we have people from Korea, we have people from all over the world. So now I'm able to learn from a lot of different cultures, a lot of different people. So it's that excitement too. It's a challenge, yeah, but everything is a challenge. So let's embrace it. As entrepreneurs, we need to embrace the challenge. We need to embrace it on now. So has been difficult, but it has been really fun so far.
Thank you guys. Okay, and so let's talk a little bit about mentorship and networks. As moving to a new place and as an immigrant and trying to start a business without having that you can't really do a friends and family round per se if you don't have that support network or locally. I mean, maybe you could go back to ask your friends and family in your home countries, but the idea of having that access to building your networks, it's so instrumental to success in all types of entrepreneurship, whether it be the tech entrepreneur, high growth type of company, or a small business that is grassroots, brick and mortar, really looking to build up in a local community. And so how has mentorship helped you along the way? And what has been kind of one of your biggest ways that you've built your networks to help you grow your businesses?
Well, I think I decided to start a business after being a little bit longer in the U.S., but my background is actually relations. And I like to talk too. It's just that I'm behaving well today because I know there's other two people. But I think that's something that has really helped my business is being involved in the community, but really care about the community. I just don't want to be in the picture. I just don't want to be the one that, oh, that Colombian is there, that's cool. I really want to make a difference in my community. And I think that's what it is so important, that if you are going to start a business, you have to be community driven, but you really have to mean it. Just don't be there because you want to get awards or just don't be there because you want to get recognitions. I want to have a business because really I want to make an impact. Like Alan said, I'm so proud of being Colombian that I get emotional. And when I go up there and I show that we have empanadas, I get emotional because I'm showing something that people didn't know about my country. And you know what? We have farmers market every Saturday. And every time people come, they want to know about my country. So this has been giving me the opportunity to talk about my country, not just the empanadas. So I think that's what is so important, that when we are getting these networks, that we are really mean to be part of the community. So for our business, it's been very important. Now, mentorship, key. Really, really important and a very important piece in the progress that we have done. Because programs like E4O, I wish we had programs from like E4O every corner, where people can just like have the opportunity to learn how to start a business and don't just jump and think, oh, I can open the restaurant and be millionaire. It's not that easy. At this point, we do not have a brick and mortar yet. But I have gotten the mentorship to realize what is the best way and the path I need to take. So I think mentorship is so important, but again, there's some mentors there that they follow up. They call you. They go and celebrate your accomplishments. I love to see when I have mentors that come and buy my product. So that's what a really mentorship is. You just don't mentor once. You follow up and make sure that you're there for your mentees.
For us in Chamba and for me, no, you're good. Mentorship has been very important, but I'm more about sponsorship. Who is actually becoming your megaphone? Who's actually sharing the stuff that you're building, right? Who's opening doors, right? So mentorship was very key at the beginning. But after that, you have to get sponsors. You have to get people that are just pushing you forward and just sharing to the world and opening doors. So that's my take on mentorship.
Yeah, I think that mentorship is important. Like when I start like thinking, when I remember all those key moments in my life, there always someone there along me. You know, like I remember when they offered me to be the president of Coparmex, and I looked to this guy. He used to be the president of Mexico City in Coparmex, and he used to be like a huge influence in the political and economical environment in Mexico City. And I look and I was like, I'm 22. I don't know why they offer me that, like why I should be there. I don't know anything, you know. And he was like, if they offer you that, is because they see something. And also, you are not alone. You have me, and you have a lot of people around you. That if you mess up, okay, you are 22. But if you succeed, it's okay because you are 22, you know? The first thing that the president in Coparmex Mexico told me back then, and right now I still do that. I still live on that motto. He told me, like, okay, I want you to go there and I want you to say whatever is on your mind and whatever is on your heart. Every single day on the media, every single day on the news, every single day I want you to communicate something. And if you mess up, don't worry. I'm going to be out there and I'm going to say like, hey, sorry, he's 22, you know, he's learning, he's young, he's stupid. And I'm going to fire you. Nothing happened, nothing changed. And I was like, that is true. Like I can mess up and he's going to fire me, but my life is going to be still the same. My family is going to be still the same. My fiance, my wife-to-be is going to be the same. So nothing changed. I'm just lose my job, you know? So that removed the fear. And that helped me to go for it, you know? And that is a mentor for me, like someone who is there for you. If you mess up, he's going to be there. If you succeed, he's going to be there. It doesn't matter what you are doing. And also the community that you are building. I met E4All, and I met Diego, and I met Xiomara because the community. Diego posed like, I'm looking for a photographer, and I was like, I'm a photographer. Do you want to like talk? And he was like, yeah, for sure. And I was like, this guy sounds familiar. So I look at it, and I was like, this is the guy from Chamba. This is the guy who is doing all this amazing stuff. So we met, and he was like, yeah, I'm checking for a CFO. I was like, I have the number of CFO. Go for it. In the first 10 minutes of the conversation. And we became like really good friends to the point that we are today in here. And he introduced me with E4All. And even now, the position on the board is something that Diego was like, hey, you should look on Alan. So that community and that people that you met, it doesn't matter if they can help you or no. It's not about the help that you're going to get in that moment. It's about the really believing and really building those relationships just because just because you want it, not because you're going to get something from it. Just building community because the people, not because the position. And that is going to bring you later on, or maybe not, but it doesn't matter because it's not what you are looking. So that is important, at least on my side, on community and mentorship. It's people that is going to be there for you all the time.
Thank you. And so, speaking of the mentors, one of our board chairman at E4L Longmont is Seth Levine. He wrote this book, The New Builders. I highly recommend it. If you all haven't read it, we are going to do a little giveaway at the end of this panel for this one copy. But it's really, this book really goes into the history of our systems, the history of your typical tech entrepreneur, what the founder, which is the track that we're on, which, by the way, thank you to our track sponsor. Forgot to say that earlier. Madison Taylor Marketing. Appreciate you. But so, anyways, The New Builders is talking about the importance of small business and how it's the backbone of our economy. It's 65% of our jobs come from small businesses, and so really that is the heart of what E4All does, is looking to support people with ideas that are going to improve the community and make a community become more vibrant, and really supporting individuals who are typically underrepresented, who have historically been overlooked, and therefore adding to that vibrant community. And so really just thinking about you as a business owner, I think that there's a lot of what Seth talks about in this book is the idea of imposter syndrome, of feeling that, am I a business owner, and am I the right person to do this? And Xiomara, I've heard you speak to this a lot, and so I'd love to just hear a little bit about your journey from feeling like it's an idea, it's a hobby, to no, I'm a business owner. So.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. I remember looking at Cham the other day. He posted something when he was in Bogota, actually. So, yes, I think it's believing it. But you know what? Something that I actually just discovered this week while talking to another person that's starting a business is consistency. We drop the ball too easy. We just like, I can't do it. We just drop the ball because I can make 200 empanadas. No, let's do it. Let's get tired. Let's make it. You gotta be consistent. In my case, empanadas, but whatever you're making, just be consistent. Do not drop the ball because a person told you they don't taste well. That's not my case, but or if a person tell you you can't do it because you have an accent. Something that happens to me, I'm not a shy person, and I'm a public relations person, but I feel so comfortable when it was in Spanish. But when it was in English, I'm like, how am I gonna do it? I'm gonna have an accent. I can't do that. And my husband told me one time, it's like, that's unique. You have to take advantage of that. So leave the fears on side. Make sure that you're proud of the person that you are and the product that you're bringing. But more than that, just be consistent, keep going, don't drop the ball. I have seen so many businesses that they have a great idea and drop the ball too soon because they couldn't find the support or they couldn't find the resources. Just always, like Alan was saying, like you will always find people along the way that will be there with you and that will believe you. But if you don't believe in yourself, that's not gonna happen. I know probably many people says that, but we gotta be consistent with what we have. It's not easy. I have another job. I have my full-time job, and a lot of people say, how did you do it? And I also run a nonprofit organization for the Colombian community here in Colorado. I'm the president, and I'm also a mom of 2 kids. At what time do you make empanadas? And I'm like, yes, I make it. you know, because that's my baby. That's what I want to make it big. That's what I want to see the revenue coming, because I will be proud that I made that product, you know? So I think that's what I think it will be my advice. I got all like powerful here.
I love
That's
it,
awesome. Xiomara, no, I definitely agree with you that consistency is key to fight that imposter syndrome. I mean, it is real. It is very, very real, right? And it does mess up your thinking, everything, right? Especially when you see, you know, reports, things are going like this, and then like this, and then like this, right? It's a roller coaster. So believing in yourself is key. You have to be your biggest cheerleader as well, right? Because if you don't believe in yourself, then also nobody else is going to believe in yourself. So it starts from within to have that that power to be able to control it, because it does exist. And I mean, there's not a cure to it, right? But to believe in yourself and keep pushing, right? It's part of the journey, and you'll experience it.
Yeah, no, let's be real, you know, like, it's something that I have every day or every other day, you know? Like, I wake up and I'm like, you are so lucky on what you like are doing right now. People is gonna find out that you suck. Like, you are not the best photographer. You are not a good photographer. You are not a good videographer. Like, people is gonna find out that you have a lot of lucky when you get all those positions in Mexico. It's something that I say every single day. Like, I'm real, like I'm really smart. But you know, like, maybe I'm not smart, but I have like a really smart fiance. She is the brain. I'm just told, you know? And having her like at my side, and she's always like, dude, shut up. Like, it's not lucky, you know? Everything that you are doing is not just because you are pretty, because of course you are not. It's not because you are like handsome, because you are not. It's not because of the language, because you clearly doesn't have it, you know? It's because of you, and it's because all the energy that you put on this. And it's like, yeah, you know, it's true. At the end of the day, I remember having this mentor in Mexico, and he told me, like, look at your heart. When you feel like that, look at the heart. And I was like, bro, that is so romantic. And he told me, like, no, not like that. Just look at your heart, you know? Your heartbeat. It's gonna be up, it's gonna be down. It's gonna be up, it's gonna be down. That means that you are alive. If you are like just like this, you are dead. On the business, that you are dead on your life. If you don't have those ups and downs of emotions, you are not really living. If you don't have that ups and downs on the business, on the reports, on the financial side, and even on the like confidence, it's because you are not alive. But I don't want that side, or I don't want that dark side in me to take the control, you know? I want to be like, okay, yeah, maybe I'm not the best, but I don't want to be the best. So shut up, and I'm going to do what Alan is capable to do. I'm going to do my best, whatever that means. And tomorrow I'm gonna give the 10% more than yesterday. And every single day I'm gonna go for a little step. And my fiance told me when I started the production company, she was like, dude, it's a step by step. If you're gonna go from 0 to 100 in a month, you are crazy. You are not. You don't have the money, you don't have the contacts, and you don't have the resource. It's gonna be a step by step. Yeah, you have this old card, and you're gonna go like 1 mile at a time. But in 10 months, or in a year, or in 2 years, you're gonna make it. Don't try to go like 0 to 100, you know? Go step by step. And go, like, don't compare to other people, because there is gonna be people who have better resource, or there is gonna be people who have more talent than you, and that is okay. But maybe you have something different, a different talent on you, that is gonna help you to make it. So just the only person that you need to be looking is you. How can I be the better person for me? How can I be the best version of me? Not the best version of like Diego. Diego is amazing. But if I try to be Diego, I'm gonna fail. I'm gonna fall short. If I try to be Xiomara, I'm gonna fail, you know, because I cannot do empanadas. I cannot cook that delicious, you know? If I try to be Caroline, I can. She's amazing. She's always working with a lot of people. She manages a lot of people, and she's always like, how can we do more stuff, you know? For me, I can't be like them. I just can be Alan, whatever that means, you know? And at the end, that is what helped me to lead with that emotions, so with that dark side, that is always going to be there.
All right, thank you. Okay, so let's see. I would love to hear maybe one of your biggest goals and maybe for the upcoming year. And then also, what are ways that the community can better support you in reaching those goals? Of course, there's, what it comes down to is you as the entrepreneur, but there are resources out there. What are some things that people and the audience would benefit from learning about as resources, or something that doesn't exist yet and would be helpful in your journey?
I think for all my empanada is sending us leads where we can have pop-up locations. One of our biggest goals is to open a brick and mortar where we can have the store to sell the empanadas, but at the same time, a place that have a commercial kitchen when we can produce the empanadas for the wholesaler. So that's a big goal. We're working on it. We want to find the right place, and like Alan said, that's why it's taking us longer, because we want to find the right place, and we want to find that place that I can make it look like a little bit of a corner in Colombia. I want that when you walk in there, you can have coffee. Nobody tell me we do not have the best coffee, please. So we will have coffee, empanadas, music, so we're finding that right place. And I think the ask that we have is connections for leads. There's always pop-up locations that we can have, opportunities for us to showcase our product. It doesn't necessarily have to be to sell them, but to showcase the product. And places and platforms where we can talk about our business too, that really help us, like I said, getting out there. I love to be involved in the community. I love to support other people that is in the same journey that we are. So if you guys can invite us to events or stuff like that, that will be something that help my business, but I want to be there to help other businesses as well.
One of the biggest goals for Chamba is to grow our workforce that we're essentially serving. We have around 250,000 job seekers looking for employment, and we have way more job seekers than we have restaurants to place them at. So if you know a community restaurant that needs staff, tell them about Chamba. And also on resources, we like to be a resource for the community ourselves, either mentoring other entrepreneurs, sharing what we've done with Chamba, and also as entrepreneurs, the resources are out there, right? I always hear, there's not a lot of resources out there, there's nothing for me. The money's out there, the resources are out there. As entrepreneurs, we have to do the homework, we have to GSD and go and look for those resources, because that's how I found E4All. And thanks to E4All, I'm here. We raised money, we grew the product, we are connecting at a bigger scale, right? So the resources are there. Go out and look for them.
Yeah, for me, like my main goal is on the production side is just to keep producing podcasts, get to amplify the voice of the people who has an idea, but they don't have the technical knowledge, or they don't have the production side knowledge. So it's helping them. With E4All, I think my main goal is to get more people to know about what we are doing in here, I think it's important, and especially we are on Denver Startup Week, and we like to talk about business that can grow like crazy. We like to talk about business that can change the world or can shape the new era. But also, there is a lot of traditional business that needs the help. And that is what E4All is doing. That is what I fell in love with this organization, because at the end, this small business and this traditional business, maybe they are not going to make millions of dollars, but they are changing the life of many people in those communities. They are the North Star. They are the role model for better communities, you know? Especially as an immigrant, if you can be that role model, or if you help this, we have a lady right now, is around like 60-something, 70-something, and she's selling tamales. And she has a lot of passion for tamales, and she has been doing it for 12 years. But today, she was like, now I want to be a business. I want to be a business owner. I want to stop just selling my tamales, and I want to be a business. So she does a presentation, and she's like, hey, I have this is my ROI, and this is my the money that I need, you know, and this is my marketing strategy. It's like, wow, that is powerful, because now you have a grandma that the sons or the children can look at it, and the grandson, and like all the family can be like, hey, if my grandma can, what I'm doing, you know? You have a lot of Hispanic, and you have a lot of people, refugees, you have a lot of minorities that they have business, but they don't see themselves as business owners. They are like, yeah, I'm just a gardener, you know, I'm just doing landscaping. No, you're a business owner. And you can change the community as acknowledge that you are a business owner. So for me, that is my main goal right now, like how we can shape that mindset and how we can help all these people that is already a business owner to really believe and really act as a business owner so they can inspire other people that is behind. Because now you have people that look like you, that talk like you, that have the same values that you, and representation matters. So that is my main goal right now.
I love it. I love it so much. And speaking of that, shameless drop for E4All, we are always looking for mentors. And of course, if you do have an idea and you want to start a business and want to apply for our next accelerator program, our next one starts in October. So please head over to e4all.org or just come talk to me after this for mentors as well, and Spanish-speaking mentors as well. We're always looking for extras. So, guys, should we open it up to questions? What do you think?
I think we should, yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Thank you. So you guys talked about in the early stages of business and being an entrepreneur to find a mentor, right? The importance of mentorship. So how do you build a relationship with somebody where you come out to events like this and you meet them for the first time and be able to reach out to them and then have them mentor you? How do you guys went about finding mentors and build that connection where they actually follow up and check up on you and really genuinely care for you? So how did you guys go about that?
I think something that you have to do first, if you're shy, let that away. Can't be shy. You have to just go and start the conversation. Also be clear on what you're doing. What's your business? You know, like, what are your goals too? You know, of course you don't want to bombard the person, but you know, when you approach someone that you want to be your mentor, you got to make sure that when you're going to approach that person, you know what the ask is going to be, because that person's going to ask you what your business is. And like, well, I think I do this, but so have that clear. Always ask for business cards. They don't have business cards, get numbers, get emails, but most important, follow up. Because you're going to have a lot of people that they will volunteer to be mentors, but then you email them and they never answer. Or they promise you, I do have a connection and whatever, and you're like, oh my God. Then you go and send them an email and you never hear from them. So follow up, and like I said, have clear goals, and don't be shy.
Key to building meaningful relationships, following up. It doesn't take too long to write an email, right? And usually it's 24 hours, right? And you'll be on the safe side. Shout out to E4All. That's how I was able to get my first mentors ever, right? So going out and looking for resources, mentors, whatever it is, right? Go out there, have clear goals, and follow up.
And for me, like, I feel that you need to ask, you know, like you need to go and just knock the door. I remember in college, there was this class for entrepreneurs, and only smart people can make it. So of course I didn't make it, but my fiance make it. So I was like, okay, she's on the class, I know the classroom, I know the hours, let's just show up. So I start going to every single class, and I only miss one. And that is because I know that they are like a huge politician. They invite me to have a meeting with him, so I was like, okay, this is more important. So I never miss a class. I was like one of the best attendants on that class. And one time, the teacher, like every single class, I was like raising my hand and asking questions every single freaking time. He invited business owners like every other class. And every time I was asking questions, and then like while they were walking to the parking, I was like, hey, this is my name, you know, like I'm doing this. Can I invite you a coffee, or can we do something? 90% of the time they say yes. So I remember when the class get over, this teacher was like, okay, so we're gonna have a lunch on one of the exclusive clubs in Mexico. To make it into that, you need to be referred for like 3 business owners, and you need to pay like a really, really stupid amount of money, you know. And he invited us to have lunch with him there. And I was like, hey, teacher, can I go? And he was like, of course you can go. And I was like, but I'm not on the class. He was like, what? You are not on the class? Like, how is that possible? Like, you are always here. I was like, yeah, I mean, I saw the opportunity and I take it. Even when people say, no, you cannot take it because you are not smart enough, I was like, I don't care, I'm gonna take it. So if you knock the door and they say no, maybe it's a window. And if there is no a window, climb that wall, you know? Do it. Try it every single time. Don't take a no, like you already have the no. If you ask, maybe they say yes. If they say no, you are on the same point that you was before to ask. So just do it.
Also,
Thank you, guys.
be very careful with who you choose as a mentor, right? Because a lot of their own thoughts transfer into you, and then you end up doing something way different than what you started, with. So be very, very selective, and yeah.
Thank you so much. Anybody else have a question?
Hi, so I'll start with a comment. I've actually got a blog post on where to find mentors in the US on their Arapahoe Library website. I'm their business librarian. I also have blog posts in Spanish, Russian, and Arabic on how to start a business in Colorado, so including a food business. So feel free to check that out. I was wondering, thanks. So I'm getting ready to do a minority business owner spotlight program coming up January through March. And I was just curious if you have advice for questions to ask and how to find good folks to spotlight business owner wise.
So just how to spotlight. We have in Longmont, we've had 55 companies go through our Business Accelerator programs, which 75% are female-owned, 55% are immigrant-owned, and 65% are BIPOC-owned. So definitely come see me afterwards, and I'll send you our directory. And so that would be one way. And then I'll let you.
No, I was going to say the same thing. A4All is a place to find great companies.
And
Yeah, I think
that's-
like not because we are on E4All, but E4All is like a great spot. I think they are doing so much for the community. They are doing a lot in English and Spanish, which bring a lot of people together. That is a great resource, and also just like these kind of events, every network, you know, that you can go. And what helped me on the network is like when I go there, I try to just really connect with the people. You know, I don't try to sell. I just try to connect with them. I just try to know them. And sometimes they are like, okay, but I want to hire you. I'm like, yeah, we can talk about that later. Let's talk about what is your passion. You know, what you are doing this. So I think that is something that can help you a lot. Like networks, events like this is something that can help you.
Thank you.
I think Yeah, it is so important. Something that it bothers me a lot is when they do like a research on something, but the people that is going to be affected about whatever you're doing the research based on, that people's not involved in the research, right? So it's the same thing. If you're doing a spotlight about Spanish-speaking businesses, make sure that you find a Spanish-speaking organization, because like when you do those results, like, oh yeah, we find out, and then you go and find out that none of the Spanish-speaking businesses were involved in that decision. So I think that's something that I have start noticing when I see results. I'm like, who was involved in that, survey, or who was part of the, that event or something. So I think like that's important when you go to, organizations in programs like E4O, is because they are really working with the people that is busting their butt off to get a business. So I think that's what it's important.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Any other questions? Yeah, I read that book.
Do you have an idea of what we should do? We should the giveaway.
Everyone
The first question.
I know. Actually, originally it was going to be whoever asked the first question. So it looks like you are the winner. All right. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Such an incredible book. Enjoy. Yes. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for being here today. Thank you to my wonderful panelists. Appreciate all of your insights, knowledge, and time. Time is such a the powerful asset, and so I really appreciate you guys taking the time out of your busy days to be here and share with everybody in the audience. And thank you guys for being here and listening to our entrepreneurs and their journeys. And please do come give us a chat if you want to get involved with E4All, or if you want to support any of these wonderful businesses as well. Would really love to get to know everybody here. Thank you so much. Muchas gracias. Ahora en español.
Ahora en español. No. Follow us on social media, like all of our companies. I'm actually getting charged here because I'm pitching actually at the pitch competition. So we were one of the finalists out of, I think, almost 40 businesses. So I know I'm going to be pitching about my Colombian empanadas today. So I did it last year, and thanks to programs like E4O, I feel so much powerful and so much prepared to do this presentation that I was last year. So we'll see how that goes. And like I said, follow us on social media. All of our businesses and all our efforts are going to be appreciated just by a like. Thank you so much.
All right.